Hello friends, welcome to my channel Economica. I, Dr. Gopal B. Saraswat, welcome you all to my channel. Today, the topic for discussion is quantitative methods. Quantitative methods are important, especially in the business research methods, because it gives you the perspective about how you can utilize the different scales. Scales means the measurement scales here, and how the quantitative methods are going to help you out during the course of your research. So let's start the video. Quantitative methods emphasize upon an objective of measurement. The measurement in quantitative methods is generally looks for statistical methods, mathematical methods, numerical analysis of data, and questionnaire data which you have collected during a course of a survey. And in quantitative methods, the purpose is to use different statistical technique and compute a analysis which helps you out in decision making. Quantitative research focuses on gathering numerical data, generalize it across group of people, or explain to a particular phenomenon. So quantitative data or the quantitative methods are giving you a perspective about a statistical, mathematical and numerical analysis on the data collected through a questionnaire or a survey. There are different characteristics of a quantitative data. For example, the data in quantitative methods generally gathered using a structured instrument called questionnaire. The result based on the large sample size that are representative of a population. The research study usually be replicated and repeated given its high reliability. This means if your questionnaire is reliable, you can replicate the method, replicate the instrument or questionnaire again and again. We are going to deal with the issue of reliability in upcoming slides. Further, the next characteristic is researcher has a clearly defined research question to which objective answers are sought. Next characteristics, all aspects of the study are carefully designed before data is collected, and data are in form of numbers, statistics, and that is arranged in form of table, charts, figures and non-textual forms. Project can be used to generalize concepts more widely, predict future results, or investigate causal relationship. And finally, the characteristic is the researcher used tools such as questionnaire and computer software to collect numerical data using survey, which is based upon an instrument called questionnaire. But when we are talking about characteristics of a questionnaire or the quantitative methods, the one thing that is repeatedly emphasized during these slides that data is important for my research, and data is also associated with a concept called variable. What is data and what is variable? Let's discuss with that two things only. Data refers a set of value which usually organized by a variable. Variable means what is being measured, and data is observational units which is a member of a large population, or you can say generally we collect data through questionnaire by representing population by a sample. An example of data matrix is an Excel sheet or the SPSS database. Variable, on the other hand, are different types and can be classified in many ways. They can be numerical, categorical, etc. But how you are going to measure different data sets, how you are going to measure the values you have collected using a questionnaire, and why its measurement is important. Let's discuss it. Data measurement and scaling. So what is measurement? Measurement is a process of describing some property of a phenomena of interest, usually by assigning a number in a reliable and valid way. The number convey information about the property being measured. When numbers are used, the researcher must have a rule of assigning a number. For example, you want to collect data on gender, male and female. So what you will do, you will code male as a, let's say, 1 and female as 0. If you want to take data, let's say, on marital status of a person, so you may use the bachelor and married as a 1 and 0. So likewise, we generally try to give numbers to our data, and this process is considered under the measurement. For example, a student with higher performance should receive a different grade, and these grades to these students have been scaled in a manner where the student those are performing, they have been provided and awarded with higher grades, and on contrary, the student with the lower grade score and perform very poor. So this is how we generally measure our data. So student can be assigned a letter as a grade or a rank. For example, if we provide a A grade to a student, it represents excellent performance. On the contrary, our E represents a falling performance of a student, whereas C represents average performance of the student. So this means that from A to E, the student performance is falling on each level. If a student is getting A grade, he is the best student in the class. E grade means the poor student in the class in respect of performance. A student can also be assigned a number in terms of measuring the performance. We call it ranks. Like 20 represents the outstanding performance, whereas below 11 represent falling performance. But question arises here, how you will finalize what to assign, whether you would like to assign a grade, rank, or any other value. So what is the benchmark to decide that what measurement value we must assign to a data? There are different process for a researcher for such kind of measurement. A process for measurement starts with the concept. A generalized idea that represents something of meaning. Concept can be age, sex, education, number of children are relatively concrete properties. So when we are dealing with the concept kind of data like education, age, income and different other things are there, in such a scenario we call it as a concept. Second, operationalization. The process of identifying a scale that corresponds to a variance in a concept. If the variance in a concept is there, male to female, married to unmarried, this is a variation is happening in the concept. So how you will identify that variation? So assign the number between 1 through 7 according to how much trust you have in your concept or in variation. So in case of operationalization, we give a different set of numbers on the basis of variance. Third, the scale. A scale as device provide a range of values that correspond to different values in concept being measured. Whereas correspondence rule is in the way that a certain value on a scale corresponds to some true value of a concept is known as correspondence rule. So to make things simple, let's discuss what are the different types of measurement scale. There are four types of measurement scale: nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. Rather going into the definition of these variables, let's start with an example. The nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio, these are the four measurement scale. Let's say in a horse race, we have a horse and the number on this horse is 7. So number 7 on the horse is representing either the name of the horse, or you can say it is representing the number 7 horse. 7 does not represent the place or the position of a horse in the race. You cannot say this rank 7 because of which its name 7. No. 7 means this is the identity we have provided to this particular horse. Likewise, your name, your age, your gender, these all are the nominal variables. They are just representing a particular concept. Second is ordinal variables. In case of nominal variable, we are not able to identify which is better and which is not. For example, if a one person name is, let's say, Ahmed, another person name is Manish, we are not able to identify which student is performing well in the class, for which we require a ordinal variable where we can distinguish the students on the basis of their performance. So here in another example, in the same horse race, these number 5, 6 and 7, these numbers are just not merely representing the name of the horse, but they are representing the position of a horse. Fifth position horse is the last one in the race and seventh position is the winner of the race. On the contrary, interval ratio, they are going further and they are giving more details about the position of these horse in the race. Like in ordinal scale, we are aware seventh horse is a winner and the fifth one is the loser. But how far is the sixth horse from the fifth horse? And how far is the seventh horse from the sixth horse? This interval is not available in ordinal scale. Therefore, we use interval scale to find out the interval or the distance between the two. If one student is ranked as a 1, another is ranked 2, what is the difference of their percentage? To find out that, we have to move upon the interval scale. Fourth one is the ratio scale. To find out the exact distance or the time taken by a horse to win a race, we need to use the ratio scale. For example, as we are aware, seventh horse is the winner of the race, but how much time this horse took to complete the race? So this is 1 minute 59 seconds and he have around 1.25 miles he traveled. So this is ratio scale. So this is how the nominal, ordinal, interval and ratio scales are different. So let's see each individual scale and their examples. Nominal scale, the example is student ID number, registration number, roll number. If your questionnaire, research questionnaire is having questions like are you married, yes or no, these are known as dichotomous questions. So yes and no is also considered under the nominal variable. Male and female, are you going to buy or you are not going to buy? Region, caste, religion, country, these all are the variables considered under the nominal scale. For nominal scale, as we are aware, these are the scales, but these scales are also deciding factor for the statistics application you are going to use during your data analysis part. On nominal variables or nominal measurement, we can only use or calculate frequencies, mode, percentage and mean. For ordinal, in case of ordinal, the rank of the student or the status, like the variance of the response, like either you are dissatisfied, satisfied, very satisfied, delighted, like this. These are the different ranks you are providing to your responses are the part of the ordinal scale. So here you can use the all statistical methods you have applied during the nominal scale, and addition to it you can also calculate mean, median, mode, percentile, quartile, rank, ANOVA, chi-square and correlation. So these are the statistical tools you may apply on ordinal scale. Further, interval scale as a scale where your, for example, the GPA, student grade point average, what is that GPA is, when you calculate it exactly, that is the example of your interval variable. Temperature of a particular room or country, district is an example of interval variable measurement scale. 100-point job performance rating provided by a supervisor is also a part of the interval scale. So generally we use frequency, mean, median, mode, range, variance, standard deviation, t-test, z-test, regression and chi-square test on interval scale variable. In case of ratio scale, we may come across a situation where the data is just like exact numbers. For example, the sales volume, amount you spent on the purchase, annual family income, exact amount, number of stores visited on a shopping trip, time spent on viewing web page. So these are the ratio scale examples, and in such scenario we may use nominal, ordinal and interval scale based descriptive statistics. We can calculate for ratio scale. Addition to it, we can also calculate geometric mean, harmonic mean, standard deviation, variance and other statistical properties.